are on the map Cache. So, I am really excited to go and take a look at this map today. One of the viewers, they put in the comments that Cache dropped on the 28th of April, and I just had to immediately put everything down and make a video as soon as possible. I was waiting for this map forever to come out, and now that it's here, I'm pretty hyped about it. Also, I wanted to say, I have been getting other recommendations for maps, and don't worry, I've taken note of those maps. As of the time of this recording, I am tracking Warden and Nuke. So, those will be my next priorities, video-wise. So just, I guess, stay in touch for those if you want to see them. Those are the next ones. But, let's get started with the walkthrough. So, from what we can see, right, we are CT. We came in through the, one of the building entrances here, through, with some APCs, right? The first thing we notice here, right, everything is super dilapidated, overgrown, unkept. That's because Cache takes place in Ukraine, specifically after the Chernobyl incident. And we'll go into that a little bit later in this video. But first off, right, the setting is already amazing, right? Such a good idea. Like an abandoned city or let down for a map. That's good stuff. So, it looks like in spawn, right? CT spawn. This may be, I wonder, because we're at we're at the plant essentially, right? So maybe this was a market for the workers, like only the workers have access to it. It has like food, snacks, like a food bar, maybe. That's what it kind of looks like here. They would have put like gold products, dairy products, meats, foods like that on here, and maybe some snacks on the back, or just everyday necessities that someone would need that works here, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe a fridge or something. Display case. But just taking a look at everything here, right? A lot of these tiles are missing, exposing, chipped paint, a lot of mildew everywhere, a lot of mold, right? Kind of tells that this place has been abandoned for a long time. You hear the Russian old Soviet music playing on this radio. Reminds me of Stalker. Has anyone played Stalker? It's an amazing game. Game series, I should say. I haven't really played a lot of the actual original Stalker games, but I've played the mod pack that takes all of them and puts them together. Stalker Anomaly, really good game. And then when I saw that Stalker 2 came out, I just had to get it and play it. Awesome game. Those games are awesome. But yeah, that's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this, right? So, the big giveaway that we're in Chernobyl, right? If anyone's ever played COD 4, right, we see the Ferris wheel. I forget how it goes. I think it's like 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Right. mission where I think we're playing as MacTavish, I don't remember, but you're essentially saving someone, and it's like an escort mission to this Ferris wheel, and then the helicopter comes in, picks you up, and all that. Good stuff. Anyways, right. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So, this is, this room, and out here is CT spawn, right? This is where we're gonna spawn at the beginning of the rounds. See some phones, some old phones here. And the first thing, right? CT spawn is pretty close to, B site, right? So, we're gonna go to B site first. We're gonna go straight, so we are crossing through CT halls, CT halls, CT halls. And this is gonna take us right to connector. We're not gonna go mid yet, we're just gonna take a peek. Let's see what's on here. Some vehicle information, safety stuff maybe. Work posters, all the good stuff. I can't read Cyrillic, so there's that. But we can guess, make guesses, right? Estimated guesses. So from here, right, we see mid. We'll come back around, right? Just some factory buildings, right? We'll turn around, we'll go back into. So we'll go, okay, sure, we'll go here. So this is hell, right? Bottom of heaven, so they call it hell. Some things we see. It looks like employee lockers, right? Maybe. That's what it looks like, right? So you'd throw your stuff in here before getting dirty, right? Doing your work, whatever. I think. Maybe it might be not. You see a grizzly or a Kodiak bear, brown bear or something. Nice little painting. Okay, let's go up stairs. I think Valve, well, I shouldn't say Valve. I think, what was it? FM Bone is the original creator of this map. And then maybe Valve did some touch-ups for the CS2 release, but this map is beautiful. There's so much attention to detail everywhere you look. Like the paint chipping on the ground, like it's on the stairs down here, from the ceiling, you know, the wall coming down. They really did a great job on this. Okay, so we went upstairs. We are in heaven now. This is heaven. Downstairs is hell. Easy enough. So we're gonna go out, right? Heaven gives us a good, I wouldn't say aerial view, but definitely a advantage, a vertical advantage over B site, right? Kind of gives you the entire site. You can really see everything. And then once we go out the door, right, we are now walking through raptors. So I was doing a quick run through of this map before recording, and I have no idea what this graffiti's about. We got a bird with a factory in the background. I know in Counter-Strike graffiti, it was Simple's graffiti play, right? Where he jumped down, hit the no-scope, hit like 3 or 4 no-scopes. So, if you have elite ball knowledge about what this is referring to, please let me know in the comments, so you can educate me on that. That'd be great. So, from the looks of it, right, this looks like a loading bay, a cargo bay, moving, this thing would pick up crates, maybe, pick them up and move them over, or vice versa, something like that. So let's go to the site and check it out. So, I believe this room also still counts as hell as well, right? Let's see what we got here. We got a couple creepy babies. Okay. Creepy porcelain babies. We got some drawings up here, right? Okay. Got a fox, some deers, right? Okay, this seems kind of depressing actually. Yeah, so maybe some child abuse going on. I don't know what's going on here, but let's move on from that. Some animal abuse. We got a metro map, maybe this is a metro map. Let me know, a bus, maybe a bus transit map, if I had to guess, because this looks like a terminal for these buses outside. Right, maybe. So, this section of this room specifically is called tree. Because we got this old tree growing through the ceiling here, right? Good enough call out for the area, I'd say. But yeah, we see, alright, kind of verifying our estimated, or educated guess here, right? We see a bunch of buses on the wall. Must be a transit, one of the entrances, like a terminal, bus terminal. Okay. Anyways, we are on B site. In order to get to the actual B site, we need to go up B ramp. B ramp. Now we're on B site. Okay. So just taking a look here, right? We got some giant projectiles. Maybe something for be used in aircraft or artillery. If I had to make a guess, these are giant projectiles. Maybe for a vessel. Not sure. I want to apologize in advance, right? Once again, I do live in like a suburban area. Look at that. So, and people are just getting out of work and returning home, so there is a lot of vehicle traffic through here. So, if that's why you see a billion cuts in this video, that's probably why. Anyways, right. So we got a bunch of munitions, I'm guessing, weapons of some sort. Probably for the D side, maybe. Anyways. Okay, so what other callouts are on this site? I think some of them got taken out. It looks like. I'm not sure. There's some boxes here. There's a pit, right? Do we call this pit? Down here. Kinda hide. Listen for noises. It almost kinda takes you out of the site if they want to rotate through. Hell, and come in up the ramp. You can almost kinda hide from it, so. But, anyways. We're gonna go across into Checkers, right? It's just an alternate route to get to the B site from the D side of the map. I mean, if someone's on site, they're probably gonna see you cross anyways and go into Checkers. But as long as you have someone covering this open doorway into the site, that kind of gives you a better chance to peek and kind of get a flank on them almost, right? But also with this room, if you don't think you can push through Checkers, you can literally just turn around. I think those break. I'm pretty sure. I haven't tested it in the the new CS2 version of this, but you break through it and it would take you to mid. You can rotate that way. So, we're now in B main. B main. We have boxes here. These don't really look like boxes anymore. These look like something you'd put parts in, like bolts, screws, maybe some specialty parts for whatever you're building, or just tools or something, right? But it was once called boxes. Some fuse boxes right here, maybe. Next. Right, still in B main, but now on our right, this takes us out to the sunroom. Isn't really a room anymore, right? It's just, well, I think the roof was always, there was never a roof in the previous version. I don't know, I'd have to go back. It's been a long time since I played on the older versions of this map, to be honest. But this is sunroom, it's out in the open. You have the beautiful, giant, blaring God rays coming down on us, right? Kind of taking a look outside here, right? We see a bunch of bushes. We see an old Soviet transporter supply truck, right? Ukrainian plates. Let's keep going. So, we're in B halls, right? Separate, or kind of connects mid and despawn. So, we're gonna go. Let me think. We're gonna clear this out, then turn around and go through out there. So, this connector is called dumpsters. Right, obviously there's no dumpsters now, but I believe there used to be, given the name, right? See some air ducts looking rusty. Light bulb missing. I will say there is a lot of cool little things you probably wouldn't notice unless you really kind of took your time and went through the map. You know, in practice mode or something, kind of seen all the little things in this map. I'll show you them in a minute when we get to it. But this is a garage. Right, kind of, that's a direct entrance into mid. With, right, red. This is red. I wonder if you can get up here. I'd assume you can boost. Okay, so you can jump on these pools here and then get up on top of red. That way. I don't know what it would really do for you, because you can't really see through any hole up top, but that's okay. But, right, it's called garage. We see some surface bays that are covered up, right? So you'd have your truck drive over, and then you'd have people underneath inside the surface bays. They could just work under the truck that way instead of laying under it or having to lift it up off the ground, right? So, this brings us to despawn. Despawn. With D-Truck right here, obviously. Very awesome Ukrainian tagged truck. Again, the same brand. I don't know what brand that is. I'm sure some made-up Valve brand, but anyways. We see the name for the whatever, like the plant building, I suppose. And then in here is the Chernobyl plant. The Chernobyl plant, right? But before we go over there, we're gonna hop over to T-boxes real quick. Alright, so this is T-boxes. Do you hear that? Sounds like crickets in the grass. One of the cool things I like about this little detail is if you walk up to it in the grass, it stops chirping. But if you walk away, it starts chirping again. That's a cool little detail. It's funny. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention on here is the Sputnik program. There are a couple posters around the map with Sputnik. Honestly, I love the story behind it, so I'm just gonna read a quick paragraph about it. I love space stuff. It's like my favorite thing to talk about, honestly. So I'm gonna read a little bit about it. So, specifically, we're gonna talk about Sputnik 1. Right, this is just generally referred to as Sputnik. This is satellite. It was the first satellite. The first artificial Earth satellite to go into space or orbit, right? It was launched into an elliptical low orbit by the Soviet Union on October 4th, 1957, as a part of the Soviet space program. It sent a radio signal back to Earth for 3 weeks before its 3 silver zinc batteries became depleted. Aerodynamic drag caused it to fall back into the atmosphere on January 4th, 1958. It's a cool little detail that they added here with the old Soviet Union style propaganda posters, right? That art style with the people. See a little atom right here too. The innovation of science, right? Very cool, very cool. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the spawn. Why don't we? Another thing here, right, a couple of things. We're going to talk about Chernobyl also while we're over here, but before we do that, I wanted to show you guys this I found while I was walking around the first time. You can kind of hear it. Let's walk up a little closer. We have a Geiger counter. I'm sure if you might be able to hear this if it's picking it up, but you hear the chirping from the Geiger counter saying that there is a lot of radiation in this area, and it almost sounds like the ticking is like in your head almost, right? Like you're actually being like blasted with radiation right now. That's just a cool little feature I found while walking around, but it's kind of relaxing, all the beeps and stuff. But let's back off from that. So we see a statue here, right, with the hands covering the Chernobyl plant. I'd love to read it, but I'm not sure what it says. If anyone that speaks Russian or whatever would be able to let me know what this says, or I could probably just look it up after the video. That'd be really cool. Let's see, it's on. Oh, maybe that's it. To heroes, professionals, to those who protected the world from a natural disaster, in honor of the 20th anniversary of Shelter Object Construction. was erected in November 30th, 2006. I will say, right, the firefighters and all the emergency personnel that went in back when the emergency happened at the plant, right? Those guys are some of the most guys and girls are some of the most like respected, right? That was very honorable and respectable. So say thank you to those guys for sure. That's really cool that they added that in for this map. But anyways, let's talk about the Chernobyl disaster real quick because I think it's important to know. I feel like everyone should be aware of it, even though it was a while ago. So, on 26 April 1986, Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, located near Pripyat, Ukraine, the Ukrainian Soviet Union at the time, exploded with dozens of direct casualties and thousands of health complications stemming from the disaster. It is only one of only 2 nuclear accidents rated at the maximum severity on the International Nuclear Event Scale. The other being the 2011 Fukushima nuclear accident, right? The response involved more than 500 personnel and cost an estimated 18 billion rubles. It remains the worst nuclear disaster and the most expensive disaster in history, with an estimated cost of 700 billion US dollars. So, once again, right, very brave people, right, being very courageous and honorable. So, that's to them. But let's continue with the callouts. So, now we're gonna go to mid and A site. So first thing, right, we passed D truck, now we're gonna go to boost, right? So I'm not sure if it works now, but back then, right, you could get a player to crouch and you could boost on top of that player and peek over or even jump over this and cut straight into mid. Okay, so we're gonna go through A long, and then I think we'll meet up in A main. Maybe we'll turn. We'll see how it goes. So we have the firefighters, right? I see what they did there. Very cool, very cool. Okay. So this, I don't think this room really has a name. It's still a part of A long though. Gonna go up to these elevators. You can hear some music if you really pay attention. It's pretty quiet, but yeah, there's music playing in the elevator still. We had a turnstile checkpoint of some sort. I'm not sure what this building is. Maybe it's another office building, or it kinda looks like a workers' housing complex, you know, like some places, I know in Japan a lot, right, they'll have like a little apartment complexes or dormitories on the buildings or on the work site, so you can just go straight to the dormitories and then come right into work for like accountability or something, I guess. I'm not sure. Just make it more convenient for the workers instead of having to travel through town. sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. This takes you straight into a site. But we see some art here. Is that a rocket? That almost looks like the rocket that took the Sputnik up. If you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not sure, maybe. We'll see. Alright, so Sneaky goes all the way down this hall, right? And goes straight into a site, but we're not gonna go out just yet because I want to go through A main. We're gonna turn around and keep going this way. For those watching, has anybody played this map yet? In the new CS2 update, if so, let me know what you guys think of it, if you guys liked it, or if you guys prefer the older version from CS or even CS Source. Let me know. So, this is a main. Another entrance point to a site with lockers over here. It's called lockers. Right, okay, another creepy, baby. That's a great. Okay, so we are at a site. A thing to be careful when you come out here, right? Check your left and rights. And someone could always be on the balcony up here, right? So always keep your eyes out. And behind forklift, right? We have forklift right here. It's old style forklift. Heavy industrial forklift. Airlift cargo, maybe those giant munitions on the other site were for aircraft. Maybe something to do with the Cold War, maybe. Interesting. So, on the site, we got a couple things here, right? So we got default box. This box right here. Maybe this too. But we got default box here. That kind of, you could probably plant here. Be a good tactical spot, and then you could wait and sneaky. Or wait behind quad. The quad box. Even though there's two boxes. But it was called quad at some point. To keep the name. As we can see, we look out of one of the main gates for the compound. We see the Red Star, the Soviet Red Star. We see a bunch of the same old apartment complexes scattered throughout the city of Chernobyl, or Pripyat, excuse me. And we get a good view all the way down into mid. I will say the one major change I realized is I'm pretty sure there used to be a billboard sign here that you could BOP or parkour up to. I believe it was right here, but they removed it, it seems like, but that's okay, whatever. So, that was a site. We're gonna take a right. First thing we see is Electro. I believe this is because the electro box, right? The fuse box here. For the call out, Electro gives you a straight line down to CTLs all the way through L. So it really opens up a good chunk of the map, right? So, but anyways, we're gonna go down to mid, down the highway. This connects mid to site, right? So the first thing we see and when we go through highway is white box. White box. Now, you can have someone boost up, or they can peek and then jump onto this wire spool and then get on top of white box. I'm not sure. I know if in Counter-Strike, if you boost it on the other side and like the running jump, like if you both ran in the same direction at the same time, and then you jump, you get like crazy air velocity, and you can land on this right here, and then B-hop down here and cut off like a ton of time. But I'm not sure. I don't think it works like that anymore. Let me know. I'm not sure. But anyways, right. So in mid we have roof, and the connector for B site in the mid. Oh, let's take a look. Yeah, still the grass and moss going through the roof here. One of the main changes, right, would be the window has been patched. Every time I see this spot now, I think of the XQC clip, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Bro throws a molly, throws a flash, they all bounce off in his teammate, and then he shoots his teammate in the back of the head on accident. That was an awesome clip. So, that concludes mid. I believe that was every major call out on this map. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna walk around and talk about the map, some trivia stuff, some general knowledge for the map, stuff like that. So let's start that now. Alright, so previously discussed, the map takes place in Pripyat, Ukraine. The Chernobyl power plant is visible from T-spawn. Check, we saw that. Along with a nearby building and even fencing, material consistent with the real life counterpart. On the 15th of August 2018, FM Bone tweeted out a picture of the cache radar map overview with a green tick on CD spawn. This is for the release, like the teaser release, right? On the 28th of March 2019, cache was removed from the active duty map pool. Then the completed reworked map was shown to the public for the first time on September 29th, 2019, during the ESL1 New York 2019 CSGO tournament. This map was released onto the Steam Workshop on the 10th of October in 2019 and was officially added to the game with the October 18th, 2019 update. For Counter-Strike 2, FM Bone made another version released on the CS2 Workshop back in March of last year, 2015. Later, FM Bone confirmed the rights to the map were purchased by Valve on May 2025. Valve redesigned the map and released the official version in the April 28, 2026 update. The cache collection was introduced before the ESL1 2014 tournament and was originally only available in a souvenir packages. Despite the map being set in Chernobyl, the truck near T-spawn has a California plate on it. I'm curious, let's check that out. Despite taking place in Ukraine, the counter-terrorists are GIGN, which are French. Situated on Heaven and B site, there are a stack of boxes with one ripped open, which contains a rack of AK-47s that cannot be picked up. I believe that was in the older version of this map. I don't remember seeing that when we went through. Similarly, there is a unusable weapon rack on B site, which contains an OP SSG, the Scout, among other weapons. Let's see if we can find the Cali plate in here. It doesn't look like it. It must have been a older version, I believe. Yeah, I think it's old news, right? And then, right, we already talked about the simple no-scope clip. For those curious and want to see the clip, it was added after the ESL 1 Cologne 2016, where Simple jumped from B Heaven with an op and killed 2 enemy players without using a scope. So, cool stuff. And then, I didn't see it at any point, but, let's see, this could be also a portrait of a Soviet Navy officer, Vasily Arkhipov, who was credited with preventing a Soviet nuclear strike during the Cuban Missile Crisis, can be seen near the B halls. I think they took that out. To be honest, I don't see anything about it. I'll have to take a look at the older maps, or maybe I can point it out if we ever go back and talk about the Counter-Strike Go maps and do walkthroughs of those. Then I'll point that out for you guys. But yeah, that will wrap up this call out walkthrough guide, right? Let's see here. It's all in Russian. Cyrillic. I can't read that. But yeah, let's get a good view of a little bit of Pripyat here, right? Okay, we'll stand right here. So, once again, I wanted to thank all of you guys for the recent support and interaction on my posts, right, my videos and my shorts. All the support really means a lot, right? And I guess gives me that motivation to keep pumping these out. So once again, thank you. Okay. Keep recommending more maps, right? I see all of the comments. I mean, there's not a whole lot, but I read all of them, and I take note of any recommendations. So if you have more recommendations for maps, any recommendations for games, please put them in the comments, and I will, I guess, put them on the calendar, right, and start working on them. The next one will probably be Nuke, just because it is one of those OG popular maps. So I'll probably do Nuke next. And then for Warden, right, we'll do that one after. Just because out of Nuke and Warden, I've probably played Warden only on like deathmatch matches. You can kind of hear the wild dogs barking through the video too, in the map, not in real life where I live. But yeah, so leave any comments on suggestions you might have for any future videos, or anything that you would like me to change, or any constructive criticism. I'll take it, right? like the video if you liked it, dislike the video if you disliked it. Please, if you like this content and want other people to, I guess, watch this content as well, please share. If you want to see, if you want to be notified of whenever I make more videos like this, hit the notification bell and subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.